Hello everybody! Today we are going to be learning how to make this awesome little flower kind of face scrubby. So in order to make this face scrubby, you're going to need to know how to make a magic ring and how to puff stitch and single crochet as well as chain. The supplies that you're going to need are going to be, this is lily and sugar and cream, sorry. Pink, it's really any sort of cotton yarn is what you could use. I've also used Hobie and others. Whatever cotton yarn that you love best, that would be a great option. It's super absorbent, and it also is pretty durable, and it's super soft, so that's what I like with the face scrubbies, is you're going to want a softer cotton. Today I'll be using my 5mm I-9. You can also use an H hook. I have used that before. It makes a slightly smaller face scrubby, but you could definitely use that. The yarn that we'll be using is a worsted weight or a light worsted weight. It's up to you. So whichever hook you are most comfortable using with that yarn. You'll also need a wool or yarn needle, a pair of scissors, of course, to fasten off, and go ahead and grab your supplies and we'll get started. Alright guys, so to make the face scrubby, we're going to start off with a magic ring. So just like before, you're going to go ahead and hold it with your fingers. You're going to cross over, make an X, make sure there's 2 lines in the back, and then I always hold it with my other fingers. Go under, grab it with your hook, twist, and you can pull it off. Now, you're going to go ahead and chain 1, and the first puff stitch is honestly the hardest one. So we're going to see if I can get it correct the first time. So I got 1 over and under, 1, 2. Biggest thing is you may have to finagle the magic ring a little bit because it likes to argue with you a little bit. And 3. And whoop, 4. So it'll be a little bit tight, and you're going to go ahead and might have to just make it work, and that's okay. Sometimes I have to finagle it a little bit, but that first one being done is the hardest one, I'll be honest. So then you're going to go ahead and chain 1, okay, and you're going to do this 5 more times into the ring. So 5 more puff stitches. So that's your second one. And it'll look kind of funny until you get more in there. 2, 3, 4. I always end up counting when I'm creating my puff stitches, that way I don't lose track of how many I have. And that's okay, so you just pull it through. Saved ourselves a puff stitch. Okay, and then so that's 1, 2, 3. I like to keep my magic ring a little bit tighter than some people do. For me, it helps me to actually create consistent stitches, but you hold it however is comfortable for you. So that's 3 and 4. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure to close each one with a chain. So I need 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the chain and last puff stitch. So I go 1, 2, 3. Be careful. And 4. Pull through. And chain 1. Now, this this is where you get to pull your magic ring closed, but with how many over-unders we did, it can be easy to get it all twisted, so try really hard not to. You're going to go ahead and pull it tight, and you'll see as you do so, you'll see that you'll be able to find the top of where the puff stitch ended, which is right there for me. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to right here, just like that. And you can keep pulling it tight as you go. A lot of times it'll pull loose, and then when you weave in the ends, it won't. You'll be able to kind of get it tighter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 2, and now we're going to do the next row. All right, so for the second row for the face scrubby, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and in the top, in the same stitch that we have our chain in, we chain 2. We're going to go ahead and do a puff stitch into the same stitch. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this should be a little bit easier. And you're going to go ahead and chain 1. And now, in the top right here where our chain 1 was, you're going to go ahead and do another puff stitch. Just like that. And then chain 1. And you'll go ahead and do this in the chain space and in the top of the stitch, all the way around, and you will end up, or you should end up with 12 different puff stitches. So basically what you'll be doing is you'll be doubling the number of puff stitches you had in the first round. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the first round. So in the second round we should have 12. So I'll meet you back here in a second. Alright, so I have just finished the second row, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 puff stitches, and I should have 12, you should have 12 chains as well if you count all of them. So now we're going to go ahead and finish our row. We're going to slip stitch to the puff stitch to the beginning right there. Slip stitch just like that. All right, and then the final step, so you can have a choice. You can finish right here if you're like, psh, I love it this way, I love it this size, it's perfect for my hands. Awesome. If you want to kind of give it a little border, which is what I like to do, then you're going to go ahead and chain 1, and you're going to single crochet in the top right here, and in these chain spaces you're actually going to single crochet 2 times, just like that. That way, because it'll give the puff stitches take up a little more room than the single crochets do, and we don't want your face scrubby like curling in too much. So in the top of each puff stitch you'll have 1, and in the chain spaces you will have 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and then 34, and two more, 35, 36. And then to finish it off, we are going to go ahead and slip stitch in the very first single crochet of our third row, and then we'll go ahead and I'll cut this and we'll weave in the ends, and that will be it. And that's all you really need to know in order to make your own face scrubby. So I hope you enjoyed this little pattern. If you want the written version, you can head to my blog. It's a free pattern. You're more than welcome to it. I hope you enjoy it. And if you want more content like this, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much.